here for this special occasion. One night only and limited engagement. So stomp your feet and clap your hands for Skeleton Sam and his graveyard band.
I was just a little fool when I heard his name. He's the graveyard legend of the dancing game. Rumor has it he invented how to knock 'em dead. He's the reason that we all say break a leg. When the sun goes down, all the ghosts come out. Zombies rise up from the ground. Monsters come from all the lands just to see the bones of Skeleton Sam. Dance, 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 the way he moved you in a trance, trance, trance. Ooh, we make you wanna dance, dance, dance until you get shaking every bone like Skeleton Sam. Every bone is double jointed, he can twist them all. Spin his head on his finger like a basketball. No one knows where he's from, but I heard he's the king of the Lafayette Cemetery, New Orleans. And the werewolves howl and the witches fly. That's when you know Sam's nearby. When you hear the sound of a million screams, they're probably watching him on Ghost TV. Dance, 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 the way he moved you in a trance, trance, trance. Ooh, we make you wanna dance, dance, dance until you get shaking every bone like Skeleton Sam.
Hey everyone, David Markland here, Executive Director of Midsummer Scream. Thanks for tuning in for another live stream during this crazy, weird Halloween season, which I guess is already going on. And wow, at the end of August already. So this is about the time we start to really hear about all the haunted attractions that are popping up. And even though we're not hearing about as many this year, we're really excited about what we're going to talk about tonight, which is the return of LA Haunted Hayride in a whole new fashion. Helping me introduce this thing tonight is Midsummer Scream producer Claire Dunlap. Claire, how you doing?
Hey, good. Hi, everyone. So glad you could join us. I'm so excited about this upcoming event from from Los Angeles Haunted Hayride. I'm so thrilled. And without further ado, should we just jump right into it?
Yeah. Who do we have talking tonight about stuff?
So tonight we've got John Cook, Creative Director of 13th Floor Entertainment Group, along with Chris Stafford, CEO of 13th Floor Entertainment Group. And they're going to be chatting with Rick West of Midsummer Scream, who you all know and love.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
Hi, everyone. Have a great night.
All right, I think we're going to kick things off, Rick, before you get into it with Chris and John, by showing the trailer that these guys made to launch their return. Which
fantastic.
Let's dial this thing up. Here we go.
You're tuned to MFAM Radio. It's Halloween here, and midnight falls.
All right. So I guess that got everybody's attention. It certainly got mine. How are you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in tonight to another Midsummer Scream broadcast. We got John and Chris from 13th Floor. How are you guys?
What's up, Rick?
Good. How you doing, Rick?
It's good to see you. Good to see you. You guys all safe and sound and COVID-free in your world?
Yes, sir.
As far as we know. I'm just kidding. Yes.
Good. As far as we know,
Yeah.
We're fine. No, it's really great to see you guys. I miss you. The fans all miss you. But, hey, you have a major announcement this week. And so we're going to get into all of that, and because we want to know all the things tonight. But before we go forward with what's coming, let's take a look back at last year. How did you guys do at the Hayride here in Los Angeles? And what did you learn as you introduced Midnight Falls to all of us, which we loved?
John, you want to start?
Man, that the Los Angeles Haunted Hayride is a beast of an event. And you know, getting being a fan of haunted attractions all across the country, especially in Southern California, I always really love the Hayride and the feeling that you got going to it, where you feel like you're out in the middle of a woods in a small town celebrating Halloween. So when we got our hands on it, that was something that I myself and the rest of the creative team that worked on it got really dove into, and we created this world of Midnight Falls. And it was something that we wanted to introduce last year, create a foundation, introduce fans and guests to the world of Midnight Falls, to the different characters, with the intention of being able to build upon that, and every year bring in new factions of Midnight Falls, new characters, new businesses that you get to explore. And that's something, even though this year we are not in Griffith Park, which we'll get into, but it's something that we get to continue building upon in the world of Midnight Falls.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think I've said this before in similar forums. You know, I was a fan of Hayride, you know, before our company acquired it, and I'd been to it several times. And, you know, I remember the first time going to it and stepping into the park and going, wow, like, you know, it just has that feeling of Halloween. And, you know, having that feeling in the city, which we've talked about probably more than people want to hear anymore. But it was pretty cool for John and his team and for our company to lean into creating another world and another place, because I think that's what you feel like when you go to Hayride. You know, you walk through the pumpkin tunnel and you're transported into this other place. And I think leaning into the characters and the businesses, like John said, and giving them an identity. And I was really happy to see how people engaged with the characters. And, you know, it's a testament to the talent, you know, that's in Los Angeles, that, you know, both just regularly and around, you know, the haunted entertainment industry. We just had some great characters that I think were becoming fan favorites, and it was awesome to see them interact with people and just kind of bring that extra layer of, I know it's a buzzword, but immersiveness into the story at Hayride. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I love that. And before we go further, you mentioned that your company acquired Hayride. For those at home that are watching that maybe don't necessarily know about 13th Floor, give us a real brief synopsis of like what it is that you guys do. Yeah,
super brief. We started the company. It was actually started as two separate companies in 2002 and 2003. One in Denver, Colorado, one in Austin, Texas, producing haunted houses at a local level. And we, both companies, decided at one point, it was about 2009, that we wanted to start expanding outside of our home markets. And we actually teamed up together and created 13th Floor Entertainment Group. And since then, we've either been opening new attractions across the country, and we've acquired a few attractions across the country, like LA Haunted Hayride. And so currently we own and operate 15 attractions across the United States.
I'd be remiss if I didn't really quick ask, is your entire company, are your properties okay with the arrival of Hurricane Laura last night? Are your team safe? We love you guys and want to make sure that your whole family's good.
Yeah. No, listen, I appreciate you asking that. That's really thoughtful. Yeah, everything's good. I got a text message a little while ago from our general manager in New Orleans who said, nothing that a day's labor isn't going to be able to clean up and repair.
Okay.
So that was good to hear. And then I heard from our regional about Houston that we lost power there, but it sounds like that's about as bad as it got for them. So
Right.
I think we were pretty fortunate, and much more fortunate than a lot of folks are down there, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear for you guys. And people, we're so focused on our community here in Southern California that we do sometimes forget that our brothers and sisters are thousands of miles away too, or even further in this community. So we want to make sure everybody is good and safe. So thanks for that update. That's good.
Yeah.
So let's go with this new crazy year that has kind of like, we're all witness to history that none of us asked for.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks have dropped out of the game this year, whether they're conventions or attractions or special events or whatever. And, sadly, Halloween here in Southern California has seen better days and will see better days again. But this year it's pretty grim on many levels, and all the major players have dropped out on the theme park level. And so you guys knew that there was obviously a situation on the horizon. What was that like, Chris, when you guys were talking internally about all of your different scenarios and what the logistic nightmare this was going to be, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, listen, for a long time, we talked about, pushing forward with the idea of being able to do Hayride in a different fashion. We were fortunate that the event is entirely outdoors. It would have had to have been a much more limited capacity than we would have been used to. But we believed that we could do it, and we could believe that we could distance people. We believe we could keep people outside. We believe we could time our entry to the point where it would make sense. And, as with everybody listening, we held out hope, and we continued to be optimistic, and we continued to push forward. And I mentioned on the last time that I talked with you guys that whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, we don't get to set up until very late in the game. So it's a very fast process that involves a lot of people, that happens very quickly. So because that doesn't happen until very close to the season, we were able to wait longer, to decide what the best decision was. And ultimately what we arrived at is that, the safest way to do something for Halloween would be a drive-in type experience. And so, as everybody knows, there's a lot of drive-ins happening. And we wanted to do something where people could be in their cars, but we didn't just want to do a drive-in movie. We didn't really just want to do, you sit in your car for 2 hours. We wanted to do something that was more high energy and original, and still involves a multimedia viewing of a story with other elements that come to life during it. But we ultimately decided that was the best direction to move forward. It was the safest for our company and our employees. It was the safest for our fans. But we wanted to do something. I mean, I'd like to touch on that for a minute. It was like, we looked around, and John and I talked about it, and we're like, well, what is being done, and what could be done, right? And drive-in experiences were something that were happening, and we're like, okay, what if we, and I don't want to get too much into the creative and steal John's thunder here, but like, what if there was a defunct drive-in in Midnight Falls, and what if it fallen under new management, and what would that be like? And could we bring you more into that story of Midnight Falls as it related to this drive-in experience, but at the same time use all of the thematic elements that we have at Hayride, and including some of the new elements that John and his team were working on as he talked about introducing new things this year, to really take that drive-in experience and theme it out and give it that same feel that we talked about that Hayride has, the Halloween feel. So I don't want to get too much into the creative, but that's ultimately the thought process. And ultimately we were, as things started to not be able to happen, it kind of drove us more to say, what can be done safely here. And, it makes, listen, I respect the decisions everybody had to make, the theme parks, and that, I mean, that has to be such a tough decision. But you're talking about a massive amount of people there in one spot. So, I see what they were up against. And so, like I said, ultimately we decided people in their cars for a drive-in experience, where they drive into this world was the way we wanted to go.
Yeah, I totally get it. That's great, and thank you for that. I do want to let everybody at home know that at the end of our discussion here, we are going to have a live Q&A time. So if you have questions that are going to be rolling around in your heads, hang on to them, and we'll let you know when you can start sending those questions our way. We obviously can't get to everybody's questions. So I know that Hayride is going to have a brand new FAQ that will be on their website. You guys can reference. We're going to just try to get to as many as we can. But chances are, listen, because we could be touching on what you're wondering at the same time. So with that housekeeping done, John, so Chris opened the door to creative, baby.
Yeah.
So that's what I love. And certainly you guys do storytelling very well. And I think fans everywhere fell in love with the entire concept of Midnight Falls. And you certainly have a very rich palette of characters to play with and choose from. So take us on this trip with you. When you decided you were going to make a pretty heavy deviation from the original plans for this year, what took us with you guys down this next creative pathway, and what should we expect?
So, I think the situation helped guide us into the ultimate decision of the drive up experience. But just to rewind real quick, start at the beginning. As we're starting to look through all of our options, and as we're getting closer to September, our opening date, and the COVID situation starts forcing our hand a little bit, we were holding out hope for the hayride itself. Then, I think we looked at doing a haunted walking trail, and then we looked at doing a drive through, and then we quickly realized when we got to that point that a drive-through was not going to work out in Griffith Park. As much as we love Griffith Park and it kills us to move, we had to start looking at other locations, which sent me on a mission. I think I visited every single LA County parks that there is over about a 2-week period. And when I drove out and met with Benelli Park, that was it. It immediately just really, really stuck out. The location has that feel of being out in the woods. It has the hills. It has the foliage. It gets really dark and quiet out there. It's right alongside of a lake. Like, it's a really, really awesome location, and it's a great option when Griffith Park was off the table. So when we went out to Benelli Park, we found this abandoned parking lot, pretty much, that is used as a reserve parking lot over the summer for Raging Waters, but it's not being used this year, and it just really worked out well that way. And it also had a really cool road that led down to the parking lot that, it really, you could see it in a horror movie, having to drive down this dark wooded road.
Excellent.
Yeah, it really was
That's
perfect. Great. So with that being said, when we looked at what we had to work with, we had this really cool stretch of road, and we had this abandoned parking lot. It really fit what we wanted to do. It fit the best of a drive-through and a drive-in. And we really wanted to focus on the drive-in portion because we felt that was a better, safer option for us this season. So that's where we're at. We're entering Midnight Falls. We're driving down All Hallows Lane, which is the main drag through Midnight Falls, where we're seeing all of our favorite facades. We're seeing animated characters, theatrical lighting. But it's meant more to be a entertaining drive, not so much a scary drive, just to keep things safe. But when you get to the bottom, you come across the old Midnight Theater, which has been long abandoned. However, it's just recently purchased and is under new management, being Mr. Monty Revolta. So he is he's taking it over. He's, our concept is that this drive-in has been used as a junkyard for a few years. They're clearing it out, and he's setting up shop, and he's opening, and he's going to be hosting his own horror shorts movie marathon.
That's great.
So we wanted to kind of give it that really old feel, like creep show style horror show, with a great horror comedy type host. So that's kind of where we landed on the creative, and then from there it's just how to make it scary at the same time as entertaining, at the same time as safe. And this whole situation from day one, it's been nothing but problem solving, nothing but being creative on how we can make this a fun and innovative experience. And we let that same spirit kind of drive how we were designing our scares and how we can scare people from a 6-foot distance while they're sitting in their car and you never see it coming. So we've actually had a lot of fun coming up with different scare tactics to deploy. That's
good. What just to give us an idea, like what is the size of the crew going to be that's going to put this event on?
Size of the crew.
And I'm talking about like behind the scenes, monsters, everything that you guys have going. I mean, is it comparable to something like Hayride or?
No, well, one like safety has been our guiding North Star through this entire experience. So, we of course we wanted to have hundreds of monsters out there running around, but what we were looking at is we needed to keep them manageable numbers. Yeah. So, we kept them to smaller groups. That way, every pod of monsters has we have oversight and we can control what's happening there and keep everybody safe and distant. So it is a smaller number than we're used to at the Hayride, which kind of kills me because we had such an amazing pool of applicants for actors this year, and I wish I could hire all of them. But we ended up with a really rock star cast that I'm very excited to be able to work with from all events that came together to make this happen. So yeah, it is a scaled down crew, but it's still going to be a powerful team.
Yeah, well, I mean, you and I talked a little bit earlier about this, that, the unfortunate situation that everything is kind of like shut down in Southern California for Halloween. Right. It's kind of led to a bonanza for you guys. You've been able to put together basically a dream team of like the best of the best from all the different haunts, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're already internally referring to our actors as the superheroes of Halloween coming together, to save the holiday in Southern California. Yeah, we're very excited about our crew this year.
Monsters Assemble. I like that.
Yes.
I was gonna jump in on something you said, Rick, and also something John said. So tickets went on sale this week, and we got obviously a ton of questions, and I think you guys mentioned there is a new FAQ section on the website. So if you go to the homepage and you scroll to the bottom under contact, there's an FAQ, and we tried to compile all of the questions that we've been getting and put it there so that people would have it. So if anybody has that, it's going to check that out. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about was one of the biggest questions that we've gotten is, or comments rather than questions, is how do you keep people safe if they're driving through this? And to echo what John said, it's really a thematic entryway. The entryway into the drive-in is not designed to startle you. It's just designed to be decorative and ambient and scenic, and basically going back to tying us into that Halloween feel that you get when you go to Hayride, right? With the sets and the lighting and the atmosphere. So, the beginning is an entryway that kind of really sets the scene. And then nothing that is going to happen that would, startle you or scare you is going to happen until we have you inside the drive-in, parked, your engine off, nobody's moving. Because that's one of the biggest comments we've got is, how is that going to be safe? And of course, we wouldn't want anybody getting hurt. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be scaring in traffic. So.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point to make, and you'll probably have to keep drilling that in because people just anytime a drive-through haunt comes up, that's the number one comment or question is, well, how do you keep everybody safe? Well, obviously, it's not like tag and you drive type of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, our company's got approach to do probably 20 different drive-through experiences, and we've declined every one of them because I don't see how you do that, And so when we thought about this experience, like I said, I mean, if you watch the video, it's like, don't call it a drive-through, don't call it a drive-in. We didn't want you calling it a drive-through because it's not. Like, we don't think that's we didn't think that was a way to go with it. But then don't call it a drive-in because we didn't want you to think you're just sitting and watching a movie. and we wanted you to know that it was original content, it was creative content, and more of a show that, has that drive-in element to it. So.
Yeah. No, I think that's really, really great. John and Chris, like just logistically, I mean, every location that a haunt chooses or an attraction is created at, there are its own set of unique logistical challenges. So not to get too into the weeds, but what really do you see as kind of the logistical challenge, other than just getting people to know where your new location is? What's the logistical challenge of moving from like the old zoo in Griffith Park to this new park by Raging Waters?
Walk in the park this year compared to Griffith Park. I think, like I said, I think the location really lent itself very well to what we want to do. I think the capacity of what we're looking to do, amount of cars per show per night, it's manageable. I'm sure there'll be curveballs with everything, but like I said, I think that's something that my team is very, very strong at, is problem solving and figuring it out. And I right now feel pretty good, which is probably scary, but looking at it, what we have on paper, we're going to be doing tons of rehearsals and walking through our operations. I feel pretty good, especially, like I said, especially after last year, taking on the hayride for the first year, having 10 days to set up 4 mazes or 3 mazes and a hayride plus, whole midway and all that. Like, it's going to be Halloween vacation this year.
Yeah,
famous,
no,
famous
I
last words, I know, but I feel good about it.
Hey, dude, at least you guys are doing something. And I think that's really that's the important message of the night. We're all talking about how, we're going to save collectively, how we're going to save Halloween and what we're going to do to the community. And you guys aren't doing it just here. You're doing it all across the United States. Right. So huge kudos to you guys. That's so amazing and wonderful.
Oh, sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I'll say, for internally, anybody that's familiar with me in Southern California, right? Like, I live and breathe haunted attractions all year. So it was awesome that the conversation never went in a direction of, we're not doing this. It's like, let's figure it out. Let's keep going. We went through many, many different variations of designs. I probably did more designs this year than I did last year, designing Knott's, Queen Mary, and this all together. Mm-hmm. And it just, the team just kept, like, never lost sight, never lost focus. And we're determined to figure it out.
That's awesome. Chris, what were you thinking? You were going to say something?
I was going to echo what John said. And a lot of people attend Hayride, and this is different. It's a much lower capacity. Going back to, we wanted to do something, right? And, so there's definitely not as many tickets available to this. We took our capacity down to a much lower level, and I'm not saying that to be salesy. I'm surprised, like, with moving the event. The question is, are people going to want to go there versus going to Griffith? And so far so good. And it is a smaller number of tickets available, but like John said, we never stopped wanting to do something. So we leaned into, what can we do?
Yeah, absolutely. And, your location really, that'll play for you guys. I mean, that's really much closer than like for Inland Empire, for Orange County and LA. It's kind of like right in the middle of everything, and even closer for people that want to come from San Diego County as well. So I think that's, it's a really good move for you guys. And obviously, I mean, you guys just started ticket sales, and I'm sure they're doing well because people are, like, first of all, so freaked out as to what's happened to Halloween here, and they're just going to be so hungry for anything Halloween, let alone you guys, who are one of the name brands now here in Southern California when it comes to Halloween. So I think it's going to be, all things aside and all things considered, I think it's going to be a tremendous year for you guys.
Well, we're just very thankful to be able to celebrate the holiday in our favorite way of producing haunted attractions.
Yeah, absolutely. So, folks watching at home, we are about ready to start our Q&A portion of our little show here. So, get those questions to us. Go ahead and send them on your social platforms there, and we're going to be picking a few in the control room and putting them up for everybody to answer. And why don't we go ahead and just start with? Look, we got a question from our friend Norm over at horror.com.
Norm,
Hey, how are you?
what's up, man?
Good.
Well, okay, so many questions. Very excited. But okay, the first question I have is, what's the difference in the size of the venues? How many vehicles will be able to cycle through each show, and how are people going to be pulsed?
Yeah, so the difference in the size of the venues, gosh, I don't know, between the amount of space that we use in Griffith, John, versus here.
I mean, linear distance, it's probably comparable. However, because it's a parking lot, it's, you can fit less people in it because we're using it as a parking lot essentially.
It was interesting to find a parking lot in a dark park that's surrounded by
woods,
environment to make it still have that feel.
But I think the answer, it's like 4 to 6 shows a night, depending on the night where we're at in the month. Yeah, we'll be cycling every hour.
Every hour. Very cool. Well, I can't wait to smell the fog.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm dying.
Nice.
Smell the hand sanitizer too, because pumpkin spice.
Yes, pumpkin spice hand sanitizer. That's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, Norm had a question, but I also have a question. It reminded me, I did have a question for you on a technical level. How are you guys going about your sound design? Soundscape is so important for any attraction. How are you guys going about that this year with this experience?
It's a mix of interior car audio using the AM/FM transmitters, as well as exterior audio support that we'll be putting out. So it's kind of up to you what you want to hear. But I think the in-car audio, crank it up. We built some scares into the audio tracks.
That's great.
The entire show is on show control, timed out to the audio. So there's lots of special effects that go along with it.
That's great. That's awesome. Okay, so Stacy has a question. She wants to know if she can bring her dog.
Buy the dog a ticket. I'm just kidding.
I would not bring a dog. I don't know. I think my dogs, if they heard the loud noises and different things that unexplained, I don't know that they'd be super, super psyched about that. So,
but I guess the question is, can she?
I don't know. I don't know if dogs are allowed in the park. I mean, you're in your vehicle. I mean, I'll tell you what. We'll research that and we'll get it in the FAQs.
Yeah, good question.
There you go. Good question. And I haven't been to the park for a long time. I think the last time the last time I went to Raging Waters, this is going to date me big time. I don't even know if it's still there. The brand new attraction that got me to go to Raging Waters was this horrifying thing called Dropout.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, and so it was brand new when I went. I don't even know how many decades old that thing is now, or if it even
yeah, it's still standing.
Wow. All right. So that's the last time I was over in those neck of the woods. So yeah. It's time. I'm overdue, right?
Yes, you are.
So I'm not going on any water slides, though. That's not happening. So Jonathan with Hotline has a question.
Hey, what's up, John?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thanks for taking my question. First of all, love the idea of it being a film festival at a drive-in. Phenomenal. I love that. And my question's in relation to that. Are you producing all the films in-house, or are you going to like filmmakers outside to get the shorts going?
So we're in the final stages of an agreement with a content provider.
Nice.
So it hasn't been announced yet. Stay tuned. But great question. We wanted to make sure that the short films in the festival were cool and fun and fit the bill. So we'll have an announcement on that very, very shortly.
Yeah, but we have shot our own original content to mix in as well. That does pertain to the World of Midnight Falls, hosted by Monty Revolta.
Nice. I love it. I can't wait.
Thank you.
In fact, I mean, these guys, my office is in Denver, but they were sending me photos from the video shoot, and it looked awesome. I mean, it looked amazing. So I think, the original side of it, and the host element, and the kind of that older spook show film festival feeling is going to be really cool.
Fantastic.
Dude, that's awesome. Perfect. Okay, so let's see. There's another question. Let's see. Are you hiring actors? Oh no! See, this is what I get for reading our behind the scenes notes.
It says, Rick, you can ignore.
Oh my God!
But I mean, let's address it, right? Like I said, we are at the moment staffed with a awesome crew. However, we're still accepting applications for our on-call list. So, yes, we are. You can apply through the website, through the LA Haunted Hayride website.
That's great. And we know that you guys are going to have an amazing team. So we're really excited to see the talent that goes. And then here's what's this is going to be the drama for 2021. Who's going to stay with you guys and who goes back to their other old haunts?
We're making everyone that works for us this year sign a 10-year contract. So
there you go. There you go. Awesome. All right, so let's see. I think we have another question. So Norm also followed up his question with, so the show capacity is, what's your idea for like the show capacity at any given time?
Gotcha. Each show's around 80 cars. Was that
okay?
Yeah.
So however many people.
Yeah, I think that's
cars.
Yeah, I mean, when we looked at that's when we looked at how we were going to ticket this event too, it was like we didn't want to make it where it was too expensive to go on a date, but we also wanted we wanted it to make it, cheaper the more people that wanted to go. It was like the more people in your family that you could get to go with you, the lower the price would be. So it was pretty interesting trying to figure out, how to look at things by the car versus, by the person, like we're used to looking at things, So should I answer on the time slots, or am I the only one seeing this?
Yeah. So, and no, I see it. And Leslie's been very patient as we've rambled through this. So going hand in hand with the capacity, regarding time slots, how long in advance are people going to be needing to arrive?
Yeah, we're going to recommend that they get there 30 minutes ahead of time, and we'll have signage there on how they queue up for the show. And we're also, and it's in the FAQs actually, because that's been a question we've gotten. So 30 minutes before the show time, and don't arrive any later than 15 minutes before the show time, just to make sure that everybody's lined up and ready to go in and watch the show.
Okay, great. Excellent. Okay, now I'm hoping I'm doing this next question right. I think we have another live question from Gabe with Theme Park Duo. Come in, Gabe.
It's like a reunion. We're getting to see all our friends we would normally see at Midsummer Scream.
I just have a big bushy beard now.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, guys, first of all, I want to say huge fan of Haunted Hayride. Really loved the event last year. Really loved the idea of Midnight Falls. And for me, my question kind of is, with last year's event, you really built around these funny, spooky, creepy characters that everyone really got to interact with, that really built the story, that played a really big part of that. How do you plan on incorporating that feel into this new existing attraction, given the fact that you have this 1-ton barrier between people and their experience?
First off, I think it's amazing that you got all that. Thank you. Not often that somebody puts it all together like that. That's great.
I spent a lot of time talking to you.
And I think that's a testament to Ted Doherty and his character development and his script writing that he does for all the characters. So that's awesome. That was the main thing. We wanted people to be able to engage and have these personal experiences with the characters. So rolling into this, with all the facades and stuff set aside, they're the familiar landmarks that you probably saw last year, with some new ones. But we are going to have a presence of our Midnight Falls characters that we saw last year. The varsity jock, the prom queen, Herschel, they're all going to be there, interacting, moving throughout the space, scaring, as well as some new characters that we're going to be introducing as well. this year as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks. Good seeing you, Gabe.
Good seeing you too, Rick. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Awesome. I think we have another question queued up. I'm going to wait for the control room to throw it up. There we go. So Sarah wants to know, will your actors be wearing masks?
So heartbreakingly, we are not doing any makeup this year. We're lucky that we are going to be utilizing our makeup artists and being able to provide them jobs at the event, just not in the makeup chairs. But so we are moving to all actors wearing masks. We have developed our own proprietary material that is comparable to silicone, which we're making the mask, meaning that they are 100% non-porous and we can clean them out every night. And they will all be wearing PPE underneath their thematic mask that they will be issued.
Wow, that's amazing. And let's hope for cooler weather, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when we were talking about it, it was like, luckily, the people that we work with are used to wearing masks for Halloween. So there's, an extra layer that I think everybody's having to deal with. But to John's point, they'll all be wearing PPE masks under their masks. So, and going to what John said, it was interesting trying to think about like, how do you bring in that element of these characters, but yet maintain the physical distancing that we will maintain. I think they came up with some pretty creative ideas on how to do that. And it's hard to have these Q&As because it's like, you don't want to give away too much, but trust me, it was like, we sat down and went, how are we going to do this? First and foremost was how are we going to do it safely?
Yeah, totally. I think that anybody knows that you guys have been around the block long enough that you know what you're doing. Even though this is a brave new world that we've kind of been thrown into, you certainly have a lot of haunting experience under your belts, and I'm sure that you guys, obviously safety is your number one concern, and so I'm sure that everybody's going to go into this trusting you guys and knowing that you know what you're doing with this stuff. So thank you for your efforts on that. Mike asks, do patrons need to wear masks?
Yeah, so I'm going to answer that as things continue to evolve and we continue to watch what's happening. It's our own personal opinion that everybody should be wearing masks. And rather than argue on the interpretation of that, I believe the current LA guidelines are saying if you're outdoors and you can't be distanced from people properly, then you should wear a mask. I go with you should always wear a mask. But being that things continue to evolve, I think we're going to keep everybody informed as of what the requirements would be prior to showtime in their know before you go email.
Got it. Perfect. I think we're waiting for another question. I think we're waiting for a question here.
Next,
I'm seeing a lot of communication going by here. So I know we've got questions queued up. Okay, looks like we're going to go to another live video question. And this is going to be from Tucker with the Daily Howler.
Oh, look at this. Good evening.
How did you get in?
Wow. Najee Revolta here.
Yep.
Hey, I got a really important question for you. Is this what nerds usually do on Thursdays?
I think this is pretty typical for the haunt nerd community that we're all a part of, right? We're
speak for yourself.
Got a finger on the pulse. Or
yeah. Hey, I just want to say, it's so wonderful that I'm obligated to be here this evening.
I say, did you sign that contract?
Oh yeah, the contract. Let me see if I can get that here. Now this says that I will officially take over the Midnight Theater in beautiful downtown Midnight Falls. Correct? All right, here we go. Looking for a pin. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Why don't we just sign it in blood? There it is.
There it is.
Beautiful. Hold on, let me give it to my secretary here. Go ahead, take that and shred it, and then file it.
Perfect. Well, that's it. I guess all of our guests are now at the mercy of Monty and his management abilities.
Oh boy.
So I got to tell you, I want to update you on how it's been here in downtown Midnight Falls at the Midnight Mortuary. I have the same struggles that everyone does, working from home. And, well, I'll tell you what, I've been making a whole bunch of sourdough bread. So, some.
All right. Are we moving on, or?
There it is.
Monty's still here.
Oh my God. Well, thank you, Monty. It's always good to see you.
Of course it is. Let me know when this is done so I can pay myself and regret it.
We will. All right. So we have another question from Lynette. Wow, Monty is out of control. God go with you guys. Boy, okay. So Lynette wants to know, what kind of merchandise can the fans expect this year?
Well, that was a very timely question, because that was part of my meeting at the end of the day today.
Nice.
We're trying to look at how we go about getting that to you guys safely. So TBD on that. We're looking at the option of potentially having an online store for the merchandise, I think, or maybe some type of an app-based system. But as far as merchandise, I think you can expect the old faithfuls, your T-shirts, your sweatshirts, your hats, things like that. And we're trying to, lean in on the LA Haunted Hayride branding, but also twist it up with the car-based experience in the merchandise. So I think it would be cool when you see it, and we'll definitely get it available to you guys.
Awesome. I just got to say, you guys, I know that you have a lot of merchandise at all of your venues, and I just want to say that, last year I went from LA Haunted Hayride to New Orleans. I went to New Orleans Nightmare, and you guys have awesome merchandise, and I know that the fans see that. So I know that question was asked with a lot of enthusiasm. Everybody that I talked to about your debut, really, everybody said, and their merchandise is really good. So I know that people are really excited to wear it and rep you guys and really celebrate you as being part of the community here. And
we have a merchandise manager for the company, Morgan, and she puts together the merch spreads across all of the venues. She does. It's overwhelming when you look at the spread that she sends over. It's like, oh my God, that's a lot of merchandise items that she covers, but she does a great job with it.
Yeah, I remember last year setting up for Hayride and setting up the store. I mean, man, I don't know, John, it felt like they were there for a week.
Yeah.
Like getting the store set up and getting everything merchandised. And ever since we started the company, I've always been big on that. Like, I want T-shirts that people want to wear. Not just a T-shirt that has a big, logo smacked on the front of it. It's like,
yeah,
have something that's like, still is on point with the brand, but like that you want to wear, not just at Halloween. Of course, this group will probably wear it regardless every day, but you know that normal people, that aren't Halloween fanatics, would wear in June as opposed to as well as in October. So yeah, I appreciate that comment.
Yeah. So it looks like Joanna has a question, but I'm going to put a little bit of a spin on her question. She's asking about the platinum package, and I'm just asking, what different types of packages are you guys offering for this experience?
Yeah, so there's 4 different ticket levels. There's a standard ticket, a preferred ticket, a VIP ticket, and then the platinum. We've purposely kept some of the platinum elements kind of secret, but we also, it's the only ticket that we did that we priced as for your whole group, so that you could bring your cohorts of up to a certain number. But anyways, back to your question. So obviously the screen is going to be at the front of the performance area, so the tickets are based on your proximity to that screen. So there's 2 rows of standard, 2 rows of preferred, 2 rows of VIP, and then obviously the front row is the platinum row.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm being told that we have some behind the scenes build pics. John, can you give us all a little peek and take us through what we're looking at?
Yeah, sure. Bring them up.
All right.
Oh, that was my my pumpkin spice coffee mug when we were shooting the video content. It looked like a Michaels commercial. So this is part of our our original multimedia production that we were doing. As part of it, as we can see, Bismorte playing a nice organ there. Yeah. So we're lucky in LA. We have our main production facility now here in LA where we're building everything. So we were able to utilize a lot of the sets we have to create this this video content.
That's excellent. Oh, what are we looking at here? I know what we're looking at, but you want to elaborate a little bit more for us?
Yeah, this is Monty waking up after his slumber. There he is.
Too bad I can't wake up from this slumber.
Oh my God.
We're being trolled from within.
Yes.
Thanks, Monty. All right, what have we got going here?
More behind the scenes shots, filming.
Nice.
We also did some fun exterior shots.
That looks great.
Yeah, some cool promotional stuff. This is our video man, Steve. After one of the gags, looks like he didn't get out of the way in time.
Wow. Good on Steve.
I'll just skip that one.
Oh, that looks like Mr. Kip. They're in spirit.
Yeah, rocking my Midsummer Scream. They're in spirit shirt. Something lurking behind me. As you can see, you have our director Ted Doherty there, trying to get a decent take out of Monty.
Them's fighting.
Yeah, it was a long day.
I'm glad you showed up.
Thanks. So getting into some of the scenic stuff. So as you drive down the scenic road, we're going to be utilizing a lot of the sets. These are new establishments that we had started building for the Hayride in Griffith Park that we're repurposing, reutilizing through our scenic drive down the road, and as well as in the parked area when you park your car and you're watching the show play out, it's going to be a 360 scenic environment as well. Some more set pieces, getting painted up, getting ready, getting fabricated, ready for their hard coat. We have Garrett working his scenic paint magic. One of the other things too, we have pretty much a full service shop at this point. We have Rib in the back there creating some of the props, as well as, like I mentioned before, we're making all of our own masks in-house. That way every actor can have their own designated mask, and there's never ever a chance of them using each other's. But yeah, this is one of we call them Frankenfish.
Wow, that's great.
This is our complaint department we have out in the back of the shop here.
Nice.
And I'm also putting a new spin on some old favorites. This ice cream truck's been around at the Hayride for multiple years.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he was vandalized pretty bad, so we took that opportunity to give him a facelift, and as well as put him into the world of Midnight Falls.
Nice.
So some of the elements that we're doing are, as you drive in through the drive-through portion, are just some we don't have any live characters while cars are in motion, so we're leaning more into animated effects to bring the sets to life, including this little guy.
Looks beautiful.
This is my one thing during COVID. I got to brush up on my welding skills, so that was my
nice.
Yeah. And always, with the Hayride being such a short window, we're always trying to find creative ways to bring giant monsters to life.
Love it.
Digging into different sets and different textures there.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yep. Some more set walls, some more animatronics. We're going to load this thing with really awesome set work from beginning to end to make it a very immersive environment that you're lost in.
We love that.
Cool. Yep. So as I mentioned before, when you're parked in your vehicle, we're surrounding you in set work, and we're gonna make it feel like you're sitting in the back of Midnight Falls. Like I said, surrounded 360 by sets and characters and prop work, and it's gonna be a very immersive environment.
It's really exciting to see this, and it's also really kind of a drag for me because I was so excited for like what you guys were going to bring to the show floor at Midsummer Scream.
I know,
summer, man.
I know.
Well,
we're going to have more than enough stuff for next year. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. We love that. We love that. All right. So I think that we have. Let's see. We have a little promotion to talk about, right, Chris?
Yeah. So we put tickets on sale on Tuesday, and we did a 24-hour flash sale to everybody that was on our mailing list, and we got some emails that a lot of people were left out, or they got the email too late. And of course, we know probably a lot of people that are tuned in watching this already have their tickets, and we're hopeful that you were able to take advantage of that discount. But those of you that don't have tickets yet, and that or didn't get to take advantage of that and haven't gotten your tickets yet, we're gonna have you can text in and get a code that'll be good for $10 off any ticket, excluding the platinum ticket. And it's limited to the first 100 texts. So as soon as it hits 100, it'll tell you they're all gone. But we wanted to do something for our Midsummer fans and make sure that you could take advantage of that discount.
That's really great. That's so cool of you guys, and I can feel and hear the interwebs lighting up right now with texting and fingers clicking away. That's really, really great. So I want to thank you guys for taking time to stop and kind of fill in what's going on with you and what we can look forward to pretty soon now. It's amazing. We have entered the Halloween season, and so we're very, very excited to go on this journey with you guys. Thank you so much. I know that you're busy these days and have all sorts of things going, and it just means the world to have you guys part of the community here.
I mean, thank you for creating this platform for us to come and share. I, like I said, as a Southern California resident, grew up here my whole life, grew up going to all these Halloween events. It was definitely depressing to think of a Halloween season with the go-tos not open. And I feel like we're fortunate to be able to put this together, be able to create an outlet for people to come get their fill of spooky season. So thank you guys for all the support, and it's going to be a little different, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope to see everybody out there.
Thank you. Chris, you have anything else to say?
No, I think John said it very well. We're happy to be able to do something for Halloween for everyone and be able to celebrate the way we all want to be able to, or to John's point, a little different than we're used to being able to. But I think it's still going to be a whole lot of fun, and I don't know. I hope Monty agrees with me.
What do you think, Monty?
But I don't know. We'll see. And I'd like to say we can't wait to see all of you here at the LA Haunted Hayride Drive Up Experience Live. Uh-oh, there goes the fire alarm again. Sorry about that. These damn fog machines.
That's amazing. All right. Well, on behalf of everybody, John, Chris, Monty, thank you so much for spending your time with us tonight. We really appreciate it. And also, special thanks to David Markland and Claire Dunlap. And Chris, you guys in the control room, thank you for driving this crazy thing. And for all of our viewers that have tuned in tonight from all over the place, thank you for spending some of your evening with us. And wherever you are, wherever you happen to call home, be good to one another and give each other lots of love. We certainly need that these days. So for Midsummer Scream, this is Rick. Thank you guys, and we will talk to you very soon.